So fantastic to see everyone here tonight. Thank you so much for coming out. I am Thelma Mama.
And I'm Caroline Mama. And I'm Sophie. I'm sorry.
Yes, that's funny. Tonight is truly a culmination of over 10 years of research, hard work, a ton of interviews, right? Just recalling memories, some happy, some sad. It's also given us an opportunity to really appreciate the lost art of letter writing or journaling. It is a night where we're here to celebrate the achievement, or one more achievement, of a man who is so dear to us. The reason we're here, so this beautiful book that we're about to launch, I remember Daniel telling me about his thoughts about writing this book. I vividly remember because I was pregnant with our daughter, Caroline. And he said to me, you know, I think I'm gonna write a book about my parents. And in my mind, I go, wait, how are you going to have the time to do that? Right? You're a physician, you're a researcher, you're writing papers, you're writing book chapters. Oh, and by the way, you're going to be a dad. How are you going to find the time to do that? But you know something? If this saying that goes, where there's a will, there's a way, we're a person, that would be Daniel. So with so much pride and so much joy, I'd love to introduce my husband.
And our dad. And our dad.
Daniel Mama.
Daniel Mama.
All right, that's a very touching introduction. But I want to welcome you guys officially to the launch day of my book, titled As the Rivers Merge. I'm sure you already know by now. And it's a book about my parents, the lives of my parents. And today is actually the launch day. This is the first day that you can buy this book anywhere, online or in bookstores. So I'm so excited that this book is finally here and you all get a chance to read it. I want to thank you all for being here. This is what makes this occasion really special, to see all my friends and people that I've not seen in a long time. So thank you all for being here. I know some of you guys came from really far distances. Cincinnati, driving down, people from Nigeria, from Europe flew in. And so this is really touching to me that you're all here to support this book and to support me. So thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Today is really a special day for me, for more ways than one. As Thelma said, I've been working on this book for a very, very long time. She says 10 years. I think it's been a little longer than 10 years. I want to say what's that? Over 10 years, yeah. So 12 years to be exact. So it's a difference, 10 years. But it's been a long time, and I'll tell you the times where I felt I cannot complete this book because it was just so daunting to bring my dad's life and my mom's life to life when it was really hard to get information about them. So I'm really happy that it's finally out here and people get to read it and I get to hear what you guys think. So it's a special day for that reason, but it's also a special day for another reason. Should I say this? Maybe I should say this. All right. Well, today is the weekend of my 50th birthday. Or is it 40th? Or I guess I turned 50 on Wednesday, so it's a special day for that reason. So it wasn't a coincidence that I picked this weekend. But I really picked this weekend to launch this particular book for really a more sentimental reason. My dad never lived to see his 50th year. Right? So some of you may know he passed away at the age of 49, 1 year shy of his golden anniversary. So my memory of my dad is at an age that he was younger than I am currently. It's really surreal. So, while I celebrate a book about the lives of my parents, at the same time, I think of today as a day to celebrate the lives of my parents. My mom and dad, whose lives were cut very short. Now some of you here knew my parents. Obviously, my sisters are here, Catherine and Teresa, dancing in the corner with them. I have some of my childhood friends from way back when, high school, when I was still in Shotnika, as they say in Nigeria. And then, we have my mom's, my dad's neighbors and friends here also, the Okonis. So some of you knew my parents and knew them pretty well, but I think most of you did not know my parents. So I hope that by reading this book, you will get a sense of who they were, what their personalities were like, what their trials and tribulations were like. My parents were from very diverse backgrounds. They, my dad his name is Matthew in the book. He was from Nigeria, from West Africa. And he grew up under really politically turbulent times in Nigeria. I know that we still have politically turbulent times currently, but it was a particularly difficult time many, many decades ago. Some of you may remember they had multiple military coups. My dad lived through the Nigerian Civil War. So he really lived through really difficult circumstances. But he also lived through a time that was full of optimism. He was still a teenager when Nigeria gained independence from Great Britain. So there was a lot of hope in the air. People believed in themselves. And I think that really shaped his personality. My mom, Judith, was from Hungary. Hungary is a country in Central Europe. She also lived through politically turbulent times in different ways. She was born at the end of World War II, the last year, and she lived through the bloody Hungarian Revolution against the Soviet Union. And she lived through communism, which was a really difficult time with lots of restrictions. So they lived through really difficult times. But of course, I know my parents more as, in a different way. I know them more for their personalities, how they behaved. My dad was, very ambitious. He was a strict disciplinarian. He always wanted you to achieve things. But he himself was very ambitious. My mom was very loving, very selfless. She almost seemed to give more than she would receive, and always seemed to have a smile on her face. So I hope that by reading this book, you all get to kind of know them a little bit. And really my hope is that you would enjoy the book, first of all, but you would also be inspired by their lives. Maybe be inspired by how they lived, how they overcame some of the challenges, which were extreme in some circumstances, and maybe in some ways kind of give you hope in circumstances where that is not always apparent. So I'm going to keep this short, but I want to thank you guys again so much for being here. This wouldn't have been the same without you all. Thank you, Thelma, for being an excellent host. Thank you, Katie, our coordinator, for putting this together. Thank you for my kids for being host assistants. But again, thank you so much, and I'm really, really looking forward to kind of catching up with you guys. Thank you so much.